everyone, I am back with another room decor video featuring colorful candy wrappers. A little bit washed out with the lighting. If you're new here, please join the family by clicking the red subscribe button below. I have a Wreck This Journal video coming up on Sunday. It's the second one in the series. And if you check me out on social media, I'm actually giving away 3 Wreck This Journals and I will announce the winners on Sunday. There's also a mini surprise giveaway in this video, so be sure to watch through to see where it is and how you enter. Let's try to get this video to 10,000 likes, so my video will hopefully start to get recommended here on YouTube a little bit more. And also leave a comment or share this video, just be as interactive as possible. Now let's get on into the tutorial. For this first project, I'm using a wooden picture frame that I got from Michael's for only $1, so this is a super cheap craft. I'm also going to be using some Mod Podge, a paintbrush, and candy wrappers. First thing I'm going to do is cut the candy wrappers. I'm going to trim off anything that isn't necessary, such as those instructions over there on the Dum Dum wrappers. And I'm also going to cut them different ways, so horizontally, vertically, and diagonally, just so I have a selection when I want to put them on the corners and the top and sides of the frame. Once everything's cut, work in small sections to apply the wrappers. I first brush on Mod Podge directly to the frame and also to the back of the wrapper, just so there's more adhesive, and then I smooth it on as nicely as I can. I personally love using Mod Podge. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but I always use it for Decor projects. If you don't have Mod Podge or don't want to use it, you could also use Elmer's school glue or any other type of paste or glue that you have around. Then trim off the excess, but not too much because you do want it to wrap around the edges so you don't see any wood. And then I just flip that to the back and kind of put more Mod Podge on and make sure that it's stuck down flat to the frame. And once the first wrapper is complete, you of course will move on to the second one. This one I have cut diagonally. You can do it however you want. You can do all the same color. You can do anything that your heart desires. No matter what you do, repeat the same process all the way around the frame by applying the Mod Podge to both the frame and the wrapper and then sticking it down and flattening it out. And don't feel intimidated by the corners. They're super easy, even though they seem like they're not going to be. You just fold a little bit of extra wrapper like I'm doing here. You don't have to cut everything off, just kind of make it overlap. Now you have a colorful picture frame. Well, maybe if you chose to do a bunch of colors. I thought it was pretty cool to do all the different flavors that I could find in my Dum Dum wrapper collection. Yeah, I have so many candy wrappers because I used to make candy wrapper projects all the time, but I don't really eat candy, not much anyway, like very rarely. If you don't like candy wrappers for whatever reason, you think that this looks too childish, doesn't match your room, whatever reasoning you may have, you could also use scrapbook paper to do decoupage or magazine cutouts, so you don't have to have candy wrappers in your room, although this is a candy video, so that is why we're going with the theme here. Once it's fully dry, you can choose anything to put inside, such as a picture of you and your best friend or a printout that you get from the internet. I personally am going to make my own picture to go inside. I cut a piece of cardstock to the size of the insert for the frame, and then I'm just drawing a Dum Dum sucker on there, basically a little lollipop, and after I outlined it with Micron pen, I am coloring it with Prismacolor pencils. You don't have to use Prismacolors whatsoever. You can paint it with watercolors, you could use Crayola markers, anything that you have. I used an actual photo of a Dum Dum from Google Images so I could kind of make it shaded and make it look a little bit more realistic, but it's also cartoony at the same time. After I did the shading and the highlights with my colored pencil, I just went in with the Micron and wrote "Life is Sweet," and that is it. I put a little heart too, but that's it. I think it's super cute. DIY number 2 uses a mason jar, duct tape, and some candy wrappers. You don't need many wrappers for this. I only needed 6 to go around the top of my mason jar, but what you're going to do is flip the wrapper over to the back side and stick on a piece of duct tape like this. The tape will hang over the edges, so you'll want to cut away all the excess from every single wrapper that you stick tape to. After that is complete, trim the wrapper into 3 equal sections long ways. You should be left with little strips that look something like this, and then you can go ahead and fold each one in half one at a time. To do this, I'm putting a little dot of hot glue at the top like this, and then I'm folding the other end so it makes kind of like a tape loop. And then I'm putting a dot of hot glue under the rim of the mason jar and sticking that on. Repeat that step all the way around and alternate the colors if you want to, if you are using different colors, and just keep putting them on until you don't have any room left and it's completely covered like this. Optionally, you can fill this with anything you want, such as little tiny stones or even sprinkles. I even wrapped a little piece of ribbon around the very top, and I put some colorful Sharpies inside that matched my color scheme. Now you have a really fun container that can hold, of course, markers, but also makeup brushes, any type of pencils, or school supplies that you want. Before we get into the third and final DIY of the video, I want to let you guys know that I'm having a mini giveaway. I was at Michael's shopping yesterday and I found these unicorn washi tapes and stickers. So I am giving away these things along with a roll of unicorn duct tape. All you have to do is, of course, be subscribed to my channel. And then I'm going to have you go to my most recent video, which is the polymer clay cupcake video. Leave a comment on there telling me what you want to see more of on my channel and that you're entering the giveaway. Now let's move on to this wall art piece. I started with a thin square of canvas and I divided it in half both ways by making a plus sign in the middle, using a ruler to help, of course, and then in every square you're going to divide that square in half the same way and find the center. If that doesn't make sense to you, just pause and look at the screen. And this is just the way I'm doing it. If you don't want to measure, you don't have to measure. You can do this any way that you want, but I'm just kind of showing you the way that I went about making mine in case you want to do something similar. I cut out a 1-inch square from a piece of scrap paper and I traced that in every center, so I traced that 4 times. Now I'm taking starburst wrappers and I'm cutting them into small strips. I'm cutting the top, bottom, and 2 sides off of each wrapper so I can use the straight edges on my piece. I'm putting them up to the square just to make sure that they're going to be the right size, but before you glue anything down, you'll want to get rid of the pencil lines. I noticed that mine did not erase very well, so as a solution to this problem, I painted over the square with some acrylic paint. I did this for all 4. I put white in 2 of them and black in the other 2. Now that the paint is completely dry, here's what the first layer of my candy wrappers is going to look like. I have them laid out and then I used Mod Podge to attach them around each square. Then I put a second layer of thin strips around those, and you can kind of see what I'm doing with the purple pieces here. I'm putting the purple around the yellow. You're just repeating this as far out as you need to cover the entire canvas. When you're being precise and measuring and making sure that everything is equal, then this does take a while, but if you are a little bit more carefree and maybe just put 1 square in the center or do different pieces of wrapper all around, then it won't take you as long. But no matter what you decide to do, this will be a completely one-of-a-kind piece of wall art that you can hang on your wall. Wow, wall art on your wall. But you can decorate your room with this, and it is just a really colorful piece for you to look at and display. I think it looks very modern and pop arty. I like the style a lot. That's all. Let me know in the comment section below which project from this video was your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like below, and also don't forget that the Wreck This Journal giveaway is going on until Sunday, which is when I'll be announcing the winners. I know I sound like a broken record every single video, reminding everyone to subscribe and leave likes and everything, but my channel is still being kind of affected negatively by the algorithm changes here, and I know that people are sick of hearing that, but that is a reality that I've been facing really hard the past 3 months. So anything that you guys can do to help get my channel back to the way it used to be, it would be greatly appreciated. I love you guys, and I want to continue to make videos full time for you. I have so much planned for this year, so I hope that things can pick up a little bit so I don't have to worry anymore. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and then I'll see you back here on Sunday for the new video. Bye!